We're back. We back. Special guest Raven. She just had to make her appearance, and now she's out of here. I just did the intro just for that shit not to be connected to my mic, dog. Okay, y'all, it's fine. It's fine though. We back. Hold on, let me get this together. Hold on. Whew. Okay, bitch. Damn. Everybody get comfy. You know what I mean? Get your little shit together, cause this bitch is gonna be long. It's gonna be long. So first off, I just want to say I'm genuinely like super grateful and I'm so thankful to have like the platforms that I have. Although they are small, I feel like it's kind of quality over quantity right now. And the quality that I have on my page and the supporters that I have and the people that have known me for literally years, like it's some people on my social media that have been with me since the spam page days in middle school, high school. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Actually, yeah. The MacBook agree with me, bitch. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. You know, the support is endless and I really appreciate it because this is genuinely the beginning. Like it's only the beginning and y'all know. Y'all know I got a mouthpiece and y'all know I love to run it. So, I just had to say thank you to all my supporters. Y'all been with me through it all. You know, we've been locked in, still locked in, but it's like when your community supports you is very different. So I do appreciate that and I'm genuinely so grateful. So let's get into. Okay, y'all. This episode is going to be how I went from this to this. Let me stop. Let me let me stop. Let me stop. But for real, how I went from stud to fem. We just gonna get into it. We just gonna get into it. But if you lesbian, then you know it's been a lot of stud to fem lately. It's been a lot of stud to fem lately. But the fem's been switching sides. I just want to let y'all know, hey, y'all don't ever gotta worry about me going rogue. That just doesn't give me. Even though I'm very feminine, I still have that masculinity to me as well. Like I still like to be in control. I still love women. I still love ass. I love titties. I love the. So that's not going nowhere, boo. Y'all can hang it up. Y'all can pack it up. And I want to let y'all know this is not gonna be like a testimony story. Like I don't be knowing what be going on with that because I feel like people still be gay after they be doing all that. I feel like they just fighting the demons maybe a little bit harder, but in reality, you just shoved yourself back into the closet. Nonetheless, that's them. I'm not bashing nobody on their journey, but just be who you are. No shade. Just be who you are. Like it's 2026. We don't give a fuck if you was a squirrel, bitch. Just be who you are. Don't be a weirdo and have good morals. Like that's just what the cookie crumbles to, and that's just what the pot boiled down to. You're like, it doesn't matter what you want to be or who you want to be or what you show up as. All that matter is you're a good fucking person. Who gives a fuck nowadays? Like, no shade. If you still wasting your time bashing people and doing all that, baby, you gonna have to hang it up. Go ahead, stay in your house for the rest of your life, actually, because this ain't that. This ain't that whatsoever. This ain't that. Okay, so since we got all the gratefulness and all the thanks in the air and all the love in the air, I want to tell y'all, will show y'all, I have a list that I add on to every single day because as a Gemini, my brain never fucking stops. It never rests and it's never satisfied until we have accomplished something and mastered it. So I have all these topics. It's at least 3 to 4 months worth of topics that we're going to be covering here on this podcast. It's kind of hard to see. So we're gonna be talking about a lot, but this is a space for open discussion. This isn't a space for closed mindedness or people just coming to bash and all that. Like no, we love to share our differences and we love to communicate that, and we can have our opinions and all that without getting into it with each other and bashing each other. So I just had to get that out the way. But I just want to let y'all know that the future is full. They hit a rocket because he gonna be into it this episode, y'all, because I got them in and out today. They want to be around me because I just got back from vacation, so it's whatever. They can stay.
That said, on to the video. Yeah!
If you know me, you know that I've been femme. Like I was a stud mask presenting. Like when you look at me, I'm a stud. But when you talk to me, bitch, the same way I'm talking right now is the same way I was talking before. And a lot of people, even then when I was a stud, would be like, bro, like you hella girly, but you a stud. And it's like, bitch, I'm still a woman though. Like, what's up with that? Like, why y'all act like studs can't do shit? Why y'all act like studs can't do shit though? Speaking of that, that does lead me to my next topic because y'all see these nails I got? They a little overdue because I got them done before Valentine's Day. But y'all see these? As a stud, I would always say like, oh, I want to get my nails done. I want to get like French tip or like some little short shit. Like excuse me, but like what's her name? K Hood got like how K Hood and Danye got them too. I seen you, Danye. Bitch, I seen them French tips on hold. I seen them. So I will always say like, I want some nails. Like I want to get them done. But now that I got them done, as a stud, I genuinely cannot fathom wearing these. And my shit are short. My shit short. So imagine the girls with the long nails. Like as a stud, no shade to the ones that wear the nails and all that. No shade. But as a stud, y'all, when I was a stud, like I'm thinking back on Stud Ray, I said that I want that. I said that I wanted it, but now that I got it and I'm not a stud, there's no fucking way I was gonna be walking around with these as a stud. Y'all probably gonna hate me for that. Y'all probably gonna hate me for that, but just being a stud though, I don't have to deal with that. But yeah, if you knew Ray been very feminine and all that. So the change from stud to femme may have been surprising to some, but in reality, some probably saw it coming too. I always been feminine and I always just been me. Like I never really cared to give myself a label or to do that. But of course, society labels you regardless if you like it or not. Even when I first came out the closet, I would just be like I'm not a stud, I'm not a stud, I'm not none of that. I'm just Ray. I'm just Ray. And I say that because genuinely as a stud, motherfuckers was trying to put limits on what I could do or what I could say or how I could act. You're not me though. You're not me though, and my clothes don't define me, period. So and I don't think clothes should define anyone unless like you straight dressing like you gay and you say you straight. We not gonna do no shit like that now. But if you just you, like just be you. Like you don't gotta be a stud, you don't gotta be a femme. Like you don't have to label yourself whatsoever. And just being me, like I never really gave a fuck about what nobody had to say. And that's just the honest to God truth. I never really gave a fuck about what nobody had to say because what could you say to me that's going to defer or change anything that I got going on? Or like, why does how you feel, why should that affect me? Or like, why should that dictate on how I move? You're not God. You're not my God, especially. It's all kind of crazy because, bro, when I was younger and I was deeply rooted in being a stud, I would genuinely be like, I don't think I could ever be feminine. Like, I don't think I could ever, I don't think that's me. And although, like, even now being feminine, I cannot wear a dress to save my life. I don't like dresses and I don't really like skirts. Like, I don't know. I feel like dresses, I just never liked dresses. I really don't know. Even before I came out the closet, I was like that. But it's like when I was younger and I would say those things, I like at that time I genuinely meant it. Like being a stud was not a front for me. It wasn't something that was negative. Like that was genuinely me. I was masculine. I'm strapping bitches down. I'm just fully studied. Like that's just me. A bitch just got a feminine voice and I talk with my hands a lot. So that was just me. But the only thing that was really masculine is my facial, like my haircut. I had my haircut, like my clothing, my shoes, like everything about that, my swag, my demeanor, everything about me was very masculine. And it wasn't a front. It wasn't a front. That was genuinely me. And one day that shit just clicked. Like one day that shit just clicked for me, and I felt as if like I'm getting older, and as I'm getting older, I'm being more feminine as well. Not only that, my girlfriend, like, she genuinely was the first one to make me feel like a woman. Your first girlfriend that makes you feel like a woman and that take care of you like a woman and that treats you like a woman physically, mentally, and emotionally, and you a stud, let's see how long you stay hard body. No shade, let's see how long you stay hard body. Because once you get that first girl and she opens that door for you, you're going to be very, very, very feminine. Like, and I don't give a fuck about what nobody else saying. You gonna be hella feminine. You gonna be hella feminine. And even like the stuff that she introduced me to, like, and y'all know how I get in the community. Like studs, like when I was a stud, I didn't want to be strapped. No, you're not strapping me. No, you're not bending me over. No, the only thing you better do is eat this and get up and turn around. All I needed from you. That's all I needed. But that was because I was so used to that. Like I was just so used to that. Like I was just so used to girls in the bedroom treating me like a man. Like the pleasure for me wasn't always there. And it was always me doing the pleasure. Yeah, I can't lie, I enjoyed it, but when my girlfriend came in and showed me the other side of pleasure and that both parties, meaning me and my boo, transactional. Like we both in it together and it's not gonna be you just pleasing me. And when she brought that experience, it's like a bitch world open. Okay? The eyes opened up, the ears opened up, the mind cracked open like the fucking sky, bitch. Everything open when I got this. Your first Dom film, your first Dom film, your first lady, your first woman, woman, not little girl. Your first Dom film is going to flip your fucking world upside down. And I'm gonna die on this hill. I'm gonna die on this. I'm gonna die on this hill because if you've ever like as a stud or a masculine woman, when you get that woman that's gonna do you the same way you gonna do her ass, oh baby, I'ma pray for you. I'ma pray for you. I'ma just pray for you. She was the first woman that I've ever dated to come into my life and treat me like a woman and let me know that it's okay to be a woman. Because yes, I'm a stud, but she loves me for being a woman, not because I am a stud. And my problem was I dated women that affirmed and that, you know, they fed into my masculinity. Like they kind of, if I was too feminine, I would get a little cold shoulder from them, or it felt funny, or I would get the questions like, "Why you acting like that?" Or like, and it's like, "Bitch, what the fuck you mean?" Like that was my issue in a lot of my relationships because they didn't treat me like a woman. But my girlfriend literally came into my life and has treated me like a woman since day one, and I feel like that also triggered me to want to be more feminine and want to enter my womanhood and stuff like that. And even just the way she would talk to me and be like, "Babe, you're really pretty. Like you're a pretty girl. Like yes, you could be a pretty stud, but you're a pretty woman. Like you're a pretty woman." And it didn't dawn on me that a bitch really was playing that stud role in the masculine role like my whole life, damn near. Ever since Ray could form her own thoughts and really digest like what I am and who I like and stuff like that, I just immediately jumped into the stud role. Not only that, I've always been a tomboy, so I always had like the masculine demeanor. So the women that I would date would just be hella feminine. Like I would just, that was just me. But like I said, everything in my life was kind of shaped to feed into the masculine narrative. And that's not anything negative. That's not a bad thing. Everybody that was around me was just feeding into that. And being a tomboy, I had thoughts with, I knew that I liked girls, but my family, I wouldn't say they're not accepting, but at the time, like I'm born in 2003. That's still pretty young, but at the same time, at the time, being gay wasn't, it wasn't like normal for real yet. Like I feel like it was on the beginning stages of being normal and like being the things that society accepted, but at the same time, I just felt like I just felt like my back was against the wall. I just felt like my back was against the wall at a young age because I was always attracted to girls, but at the same time, society in my family is like they don't really fuck with that. And my family wasn't just openly like homophobic or just rude to gay people and shit like that. Like, no, that's not them. But at the same time, they would kind of side eye you a little bit, or like they would just speak their opinion, like how everybody do around their family. And it wasn't to like, oh, I hate faggots, like, no, they would never say that. But it wasn't something that I knew that I would be totally good coming out with, like, you know what I mean. Once I got my first girlfriend, um, I was still very masculine. Like, I'm the one playing that role. Like, I was the one, and that was just me. So it was kind of very confusing at a young age because I just didn't know. I did, but once I got my first girlfriend, and a lot of people may not know this, but I actually had boyfriends, and like my last boyfriend ever was in middle school because that's when I came out. Because I realized women is where I'm at. Like, it's always and forever will be that because the feelings that I get from a woman and how they make me feel and how in charge and powerful I feel when dealing with a woman and how open and expressive I am, that's something that I knew for a fact at that age men cannot make me feel. Even with the attraction, like I could say somebody is handsome, but I'm not attracted to them to where I want to act on it. Like, it never just gave that for me. So I just accepted what I was. And then social media was just born. So everything that was coming out, I quickly just picked the identity. Like, that's me. Because I was masculine, I was tomboy. I love to play basketball, I love to play sports. That was just me. Even when I played volleyball in high school, like some people was shook as fuck. Some people was genuinely shook as fuck. I stopped playing volleyball because I got so deeply rooted in my studism. I stopped playing volleyball because of that, because I didn't feel comfortable being a stud playing volleyball. Like, for some reason, I felt that I had to choose, y'all. But that's why we love growth. That's why we love growth. And as I'm getting older and as I'm living a little bit more and I'm experiencing more, I start to realize as well, I put being a stud, like I put the cape on because of those reasons before, and because I went through something that was very traumatic for me at a very, very, very young age. Before I even had an identity, before I even knew what any of that was, before I even knew anything about who I was, I went through sexual trauma. And being molested is altering your brain and your subconscious thoughts the older you get. Because going through something like that, you often bury it mentally to where you're consciously not thinking about it, but subconsciously it's affecting almost every one of your moves and your choices. As I'm getting older and I'm learning all this stuff about healing, I'm learning all this stuff about trauma, and I'm learning all this stuff about just growing as a person, and I'm seeing other people's stories that experience the same things that I did and they feel the same way that I felt probably around last year, because I've been thinking about the transition of film for a while, y'all. Like, it's been a while, but even then, the people on my social media, y'all probably see me not get a haircut for up to a year. I didn't get my haircut for a whole year. And then I randomly was like, I'm going to get my haircut again. And then that's when I did it. But literally, after that haircut, I have never got my haircut again, because even when I got that haircut after not getting one, I felt out of place. Like, I felt like that wasn't me anymore. And that was okay. But I just accepted that. And after that, the ball just kind of kept rolling. But I've been thinking about being femme for a while, but I would just often just like fight myself on it. Like, I would just tell myself like I'm not comfortable with it, or I'm not comfortable with this. And I realized that I chose to be a stud not only because what I thought people expected me to be, because I was already masculine and a tomboy and I played boy sports and I'm always outside with the dudes, like that was just me, but also because I didn't want any attention and I wanted to shrink myself and I wanted to stop myself from being sexualized once again. And let's open up, let's unpack this. Trauma. Instead, it genuinely stopped me from being sexualized. Like, I would get weird comments at school. Like, although being sexualized just comes with being a woman, because even being a stud, don't get me wrong, I still got those times where niggas is trying to hit on me, or I'm telling niggas that, you know, my girl good, and they like, oh, I can have both of y'all, or some shit like that, or niggas is like, oh, I can turn you out, or this and that, just because I'm a pretty woman, and they're approaching me still. So it's like I had to realize that that came with being a woman. That just comes with being a woman. You're gonna be sexualized sometimes, even when you don't want to be, and unfortunately, that's the reality of being a woman. But being a stud stopped me from being sexualized with my body, and it helped me mask my body because I didn't feel like subconsciously, y'all, because I'm telling y'all, this is not something that I thought of in the moment, but subconsciously looking back, it's like, I made a lot of these choices just out of fear or out of trauma. And in reality, excuse me if I get choked up, y'all, it's kind of still a hard topic for me to talk about. I genuinely don't talk about my sexual trauma to anybody unless they really give a fuck, or unless it's like me just talking about it to get it off my chest. But this is important for my growth. So mask my body and not be sexualized physically. As a woman, like, I don't know about y'all, but I don't find comfort in men hitting on me. That doesn't really boost my ego. That it really does nothing for me but disgust me. It make me feel some type of way when I see men staring at me, or like me just knowing they staring at me with some weird type of intentions. Even if you want to just speak to me or something, like, I just don't like that. I feel like it's very weird and perverted for men to just stare at women, or to say weird comments, or to just feel like they're so entitled to who I am. Like, no, I just didn't like that. So being a stud, it helped me kind of control that a little bit. Like, you still got those men that hit on you with a full fucking hairline. You got that shit on better than him. He's still gonna hit on you just because you're pretty in the face. These niggas be gay too. But that's another story for another day. But nonetheless, being a stud, you can kind of control that. Would you want to be a nigga hitting on the stud? No shade. No shade. And if you doing that, like, you really gay as fuck. You're really gay as fuck, and I don't want to hear nothing else about that. You're gay as. And like, even though that shit was helping me mask my body, like, you still get those weird fucking comments from dudes that feel like they can turn you out, or that feel like they're just so entitled to access to you, or just to even try to make you feel like they could turn you out. I just had to kind of accept that that's what came with being a woman, because men are gonna do that regardless if you a stud, a stem, or a femme. Like, they're gonna do that. And it was hard for me to accept that, because going through sexual trauma at a very young age, I didn't want nobody taking control of me or my body ever again. So it made me kind of put myself in that shell of being a stud, because as I'm growing, I'm learning that being a woman comes with a lot, and it doesn't matter how you show up as a woman, you're bound to get certain stuff to happen to you, certain stuff said to you, certain stuff you just can't control. And I had to realize that even though I'm a stud, I'm still going through the same shit. Like, niggas is still doing the same weird shit. So it's like, I'ma just have to, I gotta be me. I gotta be me, and I can't let sexual trauma stop me in my waking life, because fuck that nigga. Fuck that nigga, and I'm glad he did, by the way. No shade. And if you feel any other type of way, you could go along with them. You could go, like, you're not seeing the outline of my body. So it just made me feel more safe. Then not only that, I started to like look in my closet, y'all, and I don't know what I was gonna wear. Like, I had all these clothes, but when I put the clothes on, I'm not feeling like Stud Ray no more. Like, it's not giving me the aura that I needed to give no more. And this was during a time where I'm thinking about switching up my whole wardrobe. Like, that was just, can't really explain why that shit happened when it did, but some frontal lobe development may have been happening, because it's like it went from boom, no hairline. Boom, tired of wearing these boy clothes. Boom, girlfriend telling me I'm a pretty woman. Da, 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 da. Like it just everything was just leading up to me just not being a stud no more. And a bitch got tired of fighting on the same fucking team. Why am I fighting myself? And it's like on top of that, why? Why am I just afraid to be a woman or to like embody a woman? But yeah, I just fear stopped being important to me subconsciously. Really had to just get over fear because I had fear of being seen, whether that be in real life or online. And it wasn't like I was like, ooh, people looking at me. No, but I had really bad anxiety. Like, oh my God, they're looking at me. Why are they looking at me? What's going on? Like, am I straight? Like, am I something wrong with me? Like, am I looking crazy? Like, that's how I would be thinking. And I just didn't like the attention for some reason. And I just had really bad anxiety. And even then, my anxiety could have stemmed from a lot of other places, but I know my sexual trauma definitely influenced the way I moved when it comes to my appearance. Because when you go through something like that, like I said, you don't want anybody to have control of you. So once I really just got out of the fear of not having control, I just let myself be free. I just let myself be free because I no longer, what's the word I'm looking for? Like that wasn't me no more. I no longer resided there. Like that wasn't who I am. So, I just rebranded, and the rebrand just so happened to come through womanhood. And not only that, as I'm getting older, like I'm finna be 23, and I want to live my 20s and the rest of my life just being a woman. Like I just want to fully embrace the experience and fully embrace that side of my life, because also like the first time that you feel like seen as a woman, bro, that may hit different for some of y'all, but for me, it hit especially different because damn, I already ain't got no bra on. The bitch I ain't trying to flash y'all or nothing, but it's like I said, the first time you really experience like womanhood or just being fully rooted in your femininity and being in an era to where your partner lets you do that, quite addictive. It gets quite addictive, and I feel like it opened my mental to understanding that it's okay to be a woman and you can still be in control of you when you are very feminine. It just healed a lot of the sexual trauma for me. Like I said, my whole life I kind of went through, and even then, y'all, I went through a phase of hating men, and not only because of the sexual trauma, but because of the relationship that I have with my father, or the relationship that I've seen the women in my family have. Like, it was just a lot of stuff that was holding me back from being a woman and from being feminine. Like I just felt like it wasn't of me to be that. But when I met my wife, soon to be wife, she opened that door for me and she genuinely let me know and still does let me know. Like the way that she talks to me is different. The way that she allows me to be emotional. When I was a stud, like the women that I dated, and it could just be the women that I dated, y'all, because them hoes wasn't even really gay. Even the women that I just like messed around with and stuff, like they didn't want me to be anything but a stud or to play that masculine role. When my girl opened up that door for me and really sat me down and continues to let me thrive in my femininity, and she loves me for that, like genuinely, like this girl is like she just be doing stuff and it just be blowing my mind, because how are you pulling this out of me? Like what are you, who sent you? You, girl, if you listening to this, if you watching this, babe, you know I love you because I tell you every single day, all day. But I'm just so grateful for you, girl, because if it wasn't for you, I'm afraid this process would have taken years on top of more years on top of more years on top of more years. Because I was just so mean to myself. I was talking to myself really bad. Like I would just tell myself that that's not me. whole time it was calling me. It was calling me to change. It was calling me to be feminine. It was calling me, and my girlfriend was just telling me like, "No, you're not tripping. Like it's okay. It's okay. It's 100% okay to be a woman." Like she's like, "I'm still gonna love you whether you a femme, a stem, a stud." Like she's like, "I just love you because you're a woman." So it's just like, it made me smile, and it made my heart smile, and it made my inner child smile because I feel as if I'm taking control of my narrative. I feel as if I'm out of my shell. I'm out of my shell. And although I was on social media and all that these past years, like I've been on social media for a long ass time, even in the spam world. But the ones that are on my spam, y'all know me for real. Y'all know me for real because you bitches watch me from the jump. Yeah, y'all know me for real, because y'all seen the stages of Ray. That's why I don't delete like anything on my social media or like especially on my spam. Like I'm never ever gonna go through that and delete every single post that's not recent because I like to look at my growth. I like to look at where I came from. I like to look at where I'm going. So it's like this is just the evolution of Ray. This is Ray coming out of her shell. This is Ray showing the world who she is. This is Ray being comfortable who she is. This is Ray being deeply rooted in her feminine energy and being deeply rooted in her and who she can be and everything that she was as well. But it's like with a different lens, a different perspective. So like I'm grateful for it all. And being a stud, I mastered that shit. I put that shit on. I got any girl that I want. And I still do. So it's like nothing really changed but my fucking clothes. And like I just got a whole new perspective about myself. So and then on top of that, y'all, like this change also came because I know that I'm a pretty girl. So even if I am a stud and I do turn femme, I know I'm gonna be straight. So like I know I'm gonna be straight either way. Like not to toot my own horn, but two, bitch, two, because I know I'm gonna be straight regardless. So it was like I really don't know why I was fighting myself about it for so long. Besides being ashamed of my trauma and just not wanting to face that, and just wanting to be not seen. But look at me, how could I not be seen? In reality, how? Like, how could I not be seen? Because even when I step outside on days that a bitch just trying to get in and out, I'm pretty. So some people are just going to naturally gravitate towards me. It's like, no, people that talk to me and that know me or like they just see me out, like they always feel the need to talk to me. Like, I don't know what it is, y'all, but I just feel like my energy is so gravitational. Like, people just come towards me for some reason. Okay with that because like I said, I'm over not being seen. Like I want to be seen because being seen is the only way that I'm going to be who I want to be. And being seen is the only thing that's going to take me from point A to point B. And if I don't want to be seen, how the fuck am I going to make it in life? How am I going to be somebody important in the world? How am I going to do these things that I want to do if I'm so fucking scared of being seen? That shit over with. That shit over with because a bitch is on a new level. A bitch is on a new level mentally, and I'm just excited for what's next. But yeah, I hope y'all like this episode, and I hope y'all got a little insight of who Ray is. But I will be speaking on like the sexual trauma as a whole because a lot of women go through that, and a lot of women go their whole life without speaking on it much as they should. Um, I feel like sexual trauma when it happens to a woman, some people don't know how to navigate that or point out what that looks like after the fact, the aftermath of being assaulted sexually or just being taken advantage of sexually. People don't know what that look like. So I'm going to be speaking on that a lot more because it's needed. And especially for women, like to heal yourself as a woman, you have to dig that up. Because if you're a woman and you're not speaking on what happened to you, a piece of you is gone. A piece of you is gone and a piece of you dies when you experience something like that, especially if you experienced it as a child. So if you have experienced that, I'm always open to talk about it. I'm always open to be a shoulder for you. I know how isolating it could be and how isolating it could feel, but you are not the only one. So don't ever think that you're alone when dealing with stuff like this. Peace, 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 and endless love to the ones who have went through sexual trauma, both women and men, because men go through it as well. So if you've ever been through that, my heart goes out to you, and I love you and I appreciate you for being here because it's not easy to deal with that. It could be a big fight to fight by yourself. So I'm always here and I'm always an open ear and I'm always free to talk about that type of stuff with people who may not have someone to talk about it with. Peace to y'all. And to my studs, if you ever want to be feminine, do that. Do that. You're a woman at the end of the day, baby. They can't tell you who to be or what to say, what to do. They can't tell you that. And who give a fuck about how anybody gonna feel when it comes down to you choosing you, okay, and loving on you. So if you a stud and you're thinking about being femme, do it. Try it out. Like that's the only way that we're gonna know what we like and what we don't like is when we try things out. So be you. If you want to get your nails done, do that. If you want to wear a little eyeshadow, a little eyeliner, a little mascara, do that. If you want to get your hair cut, do that. You want to be a dyke, you want to be fully clothed, do that. Just do what you want to do. Because as lesbians, people are always going to have something to say about us. We're fucking lesbians. They're going to have something to say regardless. So do what you want to do. And yeah, I'm going to just end this video with that. I appreciate the ones that stuck around. I want to do this stuff live, but I don't know how I'm going to do that. And I'm not too sure if I'm comfortable on doing that yet. So yeah, I appreciate the ones who have stuck by and the ones who watched this episode to the end. I hope you like it. And this is only the beginning. Like I always say, be you because nobody else will. Because who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck? Respectfully. Yeah, I love y'all. Peace, peace, peace. Love, love, love. Thank y'all for stopping by. I'll see y'all next week. Bye.